Hey, how you doing today? Today we're going to be watching this new Linux distro is breaking the law by design. Let's get into it.
I have a question for you. How old are you? Oh, I see. You don't want to answer because you're an anonymous internet user and that's your private life. Well, guess what? It's not going to be private much longer. By January 1st, 2027, your operating system will need to know how old you are to connect to apps and websites on the internet. While you are focused
Yeah, so the operating system thing, my understanding of it is that basically they're just going to ask for your age, which, you could make a slippery slope argument and say, well, first they're going to ask for your age, and then they're going to start asking for things like all these like banking apps and stuff where they ask you to upload the front and back of your ID. Now your ID is just out there on the internet, and one hacker man gets a hold of it and breaks the whole system. I mean, you saw it with the T app when it got exposed. A lot of people got exposed on there, but this could be just more of that over and over and over again.
on the Epstein files and all the arrests the government was making, your technocratic leaders around the world were all simultaneously busy with a new hobby: age verification laws.
How's your new computer doing?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Age verification is nothing new. Every time you want to support indie filmmakers or play games like GTA 6, you need to lie on an age verification form like this. But that
It's funny because I saw that I think the UK is already trying to do this, or they already try to do it with a lot of stuff, random stuff. I'm not sure what, but people are using like Death Stranding 2, Norman Reedus, and they're just doing a screen cap, and then like they'll turn his head, and they'll pass the verification because the graphics are pretty good. Actually saw one yesterday where someone was using like an old Yakuza game, and then they got verified using a Yakuza game.
That will soon become a thing of the past because age verification is moving down to the operating system level. That means anytime you get a new computer or phone, Windows, Mac OS, Android, or Linux will be legally required to collect your age. And not just that, but they also must provide an API where developers can query your age as the primary source of truth for access control on apps and websites. It's yet another big win for big tech, but luckily a hero has emerged: a single new Linux conversion script that says this aggression will not stand.
This will not stand. This will not stand, this aggression.
In today's video, you'll learn about Ageless Linux and the battle against OS level age verification. It is March 20th, 2026, and you're watching the Code Report.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one before, but I just wonder, like, they're basically just forcing developers to like add all this crap that they don't want to add and that no user wants to use. And what's it for? To protect children, of course. That's what they always say. But what's it for? So they can see what you're doing, so they can always just follow you around like little stalkers.
Back in October 2025, the Digital Age Assurance Act was passed into law in California, and it makes it a legal requirement to collect a user's age on any general purpose operating system. And that puts the primary responsibility on Apple, Microsoft, and yes, Linux. Now, of course, this happened in California with every single lawmaker voting for it. And of course, the reason to take away your privacy is to, quote, protect the children. As a parent, I'm all about protecting children, but parental control is already a solved problem. It's trivial for parents to monitor and control the content their kids consume, and OS level age verification won't change anything, so what is it really?
Yeah, but the thing is, they put this out there because, all right, if they're not being nefarious, if they're not trying to do something weird or crazy, or they're not trying to be stalkers, someone could make the argument where, well, what if a parent doesn't know how to use the technology, even if it's easy? Oh, parents aren't going to use the technology. Parents aren't going to protect their own children. So they want this. So they're saying we must protect the children because none of their parents are. How about people just start holding like parents responsible or something like that? Maybe don't get your kid a smartphone right offhand. Yeah, they'll get their friends use smartphone, but like back when I was growing up, you couldn't buy cigarettes. Your parents weren't going to give you cigarettes, and if you decided to smoke, you could get one from your friend, yeah, but it's a bigger wall. It's harder to do, and then if your parents caught you, you were fucked. So just leave it to the parents.
really all about? Well, the end game here is to turn every device you own into something that only works when you log in and prove who you are. Your cell phone, your Wi-Fi router, and your smart toilet won't work unless, of course, you've age verified with your Apple, Facebook, or Google account. Once everything is connected and authenticated, it creates a system where every action, from browsing the internet to grabbing a beer from your smart fridge, can be tracked by default. In other words, it's just a Trojan horse for mass surveillance. On top of that, it creates a compliance moat for these big tech companies that hurts small developers and only benefits the massive corporations. Meta spent millions of dollars lobbying in California to pass this law, with OpenAI as a co-sponsor. Apple and Microsoft are just chilling on the sidelines as indirect beneficiaries, but the Linux community has mostly been silent and confused, except for this one chaos agent called Ageless Linux. It's a new distro, or
Well, not all of the Linux community has been silent. I want to say Artix Linux, which is basically Arch Linux without System D. I think they came out and they said, yeah, we're not going to do it. But I think everyone else has been silent, and System D already added in a little bit of stuff to, basically preemptively comply.
actually no, it's just a script that is vowed to violate all age verification laws, even though
Okay.
violating the law is against the law. To get started breaking the law yourself, all you have to do is
Yeah.
run this script on any Debian-based distro, like Ubuntu or Kali Linux. This script will modify the OS release metadata about your system. Then it will install some documentation telling the state of California that we will not comply with AB 1043.
Hell
It'll then
yeah,
deploy
dude.
an age verification API that doesn't work. Congratulations, you just became an operating system provider. Legally, you are a person who controls the operating system software. If a child uses this operating system,
This is
you are
sick.
required by section 1798.501, subsection A, clause 1, to provide an accessible interface at account setup that collects their age. Unfortunately, Add User in Linux does not do this, so you could be fined $7,500 for any child in California who uses your operating system. When I was a kid growing up in California, the internet was a utopia of anonymity, but sadly, my kids won't even be able to use the internet without being first approved by big tech bouncers.
Yeah, I mean the internet's basically nothing anymore. It's it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. That's the internet. Maybe sometimes Wikipedia, and even like things like Reddit and Wikipedia and dictionaries, everything else is just getting gobbled up by AI. First, Apple and smartphones gobbled up everything like the calendar, the calculator, the phone, the music player, all that. Now AI is going to gobble up everything outside of interactive social media. So, like, it doesn't even, I don't want to say it doesn't even matter, but no one even knows. Gen Z kids don't even know.
On the bright side, though, at least my kids will be able to write way better code than I ever could in the future, thanks to awesome tools like CodeRabbit, the sponsor of today's video. It's already the best AI code review tool out there, and they just launched a new feature that solves one of the biggest issues of our time: human conflict, or I mean merge conflicts. So instead of context switching between branches, it tricks during pull request review. Then it pushes one unified commit to your branch that resolves instead of just guessing. Try out CodeRabbit today for free at the link below. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that whole thing, I don't know. I just don't see it working, but I like the idea of the script basically like messing with stuff to say that you're a provider. I didn't even think of that. I just thought like Ardix said they're just not going to do it. But this little script allows you to be a provider. So as a provider, you don't have to do it or something like that. Very cool. I'm going to look more into this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, give me a like if you feel like it. Bye.